If troops are moving on operation, there are people that are monitoring them, tell them 3 vehicles, this number of soldiers, this number of this is what they are doing. This. People are giving them that information. People take food to them. People take even women to go and give them, to tell you how bad it is and how sad the situation is. Because of the insider information, that's actual day that it happened. The troops were there. There was a faint attack in another village. When the troops moved in, that's when they now came in to attack this other one. And that's what happens, because there are people telling them, okay, the troops are here, the troops are there. I can tell you consistently, if troops are moving on operation, there are people that are monitoring them, tell them 3 vehicles, this number of soldiers, this number of this is what they are doing. This. People are giving them that information. People take food to them. People take even women to go and give them, to tell you how bad it is and how sad the situation is. So that's why we want to preach the aspect of good governance. We believe that if there's good governance and people have a sense of belonging, most of these issues will go down if we address them properly. Border management efforts, the last time I spoke about fencing of the wall, I know there have been pros and cons about it, but I tell you, for me, from what I've seen, it's important that we take decisive action. We must learn how to protect our borders. Somebody mentioned 1,000 and something porous borders. The Sahel is hot. Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are going through so much stress. If you leave them the way they are going in the next 1 year, those countries are not, I'm afraid they might collapse. And once they do, Nigeria is the target. And we must be proactive now. So whatever thing we have to do, it's important that we do that as quickly as possible. I think it's very important. Despite the killing, we still hear about killings. Killings will continue. The number of people we said we have killed, how many are they compared to the whole population of over 200 million? We have porous borders. There are people that are empty, not eating. You know, since Libya has fallen, the whole of that Sahel is open. There's free movement of drugs, illegal immigration, light weapons, small arms, all moving. Once your border is empty, all those things are flowing into your border. And like I told you, the attraction is Nigeria, because people believe Nigeria is rich. So that's why the more you are killing, the more are coming in. Grow and grow till the monster they are. And you know, during military regime, because people were afraid of military, when you do something, something will happen. They waited until democracy came, and then the freedom to exercise. And then these people misinterpret freedom to mean to do whatever you feel like. But forgetting the fact that your freedom stops from when you affect somebody's freedom. And that is the point that people have not been able to bring. And for most of the challenges we're having, if we sit down critically and look at them, we can address them, because they are man-made. The problem we have in Nigeria are man-made, and if man is ready to solve them, we'll get them. So that's why I'm happy the president has taken the bull by the horn to ensure that he tackles this issue. It is for Nigerians to come together, and the important thing is we must learn to love ourselves. We're already in this country together. Any aspect of fighting because of tribe, religion, and all this will not take us anywhere. We must understand that other countries have gone, if you read the history of other countries, they've gone worse situations like this, but they came and said, look, we cannot continue like this. We must draw a new page, and that's what I think Nigeria has gotten to. We must learn to move forward. We must learn to love ourselves and love our country, and that's what will make the difference for us. The deployments are done. We have seen the gaps we're having. We're talking with the state government, because like I said, a lot of it has to do with politics. You see, boundary demarcation is still there. Farmer headers issue is still issues that can be sorted out. If we're able to build ranches, because one thing I realize about what's happening is the perception is there's land grabbing. And again, because things were done before. You know, in the past, most communities stayed with Fulanis and their native locals without any problem. If a cow enters a farm and eats a farm, the cow is arrested, the owner of the cow will come and pay compensation. If any animal is mistakenly dies or whatever, compensations are made. It got to a stage where these compensations were not made. Instead, cows were sent into farms to kill. The farmer gets angry, he attacks the animal, the full animal feels his own investment has been dealt to, and then prosecution wasn't there. So impunity setting, and this is where we are today. One, law and order must be there. A criminal is a criminal. You commit a crime, you should suffer for the crime you've committed. Once we start implementing that fully, it will negate these issues and we'll have understanding. But dialogue, we must continue to talk together as brothers and sisters. Or somebody said, or else we will die as fools. And I think we don't want to die. Mistakes, but that does not mean we should go out insulting everybody and making it. And the way it looks as if when a soldier dies, we tend to like celebrate it. When a terrorist dies, nothing happens. These are the two things that we need to look at. Are we looking for the money, or we're looking for the continuity of the country and of Nigeria as a nation? Those are the things that I think is very important for us. Modern warfare, yes, we don't produce what we need. Most times, even when we get those things, we have to take them and use them to our own peculiarity, and we're doing the best we can. It has also enabled us to be able to develop some level of expertise on handling of those things. But because we don't produce them, we rely on buying from nations. You don't get them off the shelf. Even with your money, sometimes it's difficult buying those items. But we are doing the best we can to get it. With what we have now, what we are achieving, I think it's almost a miracle we're doing. That I can guarantee you. But again, the president has approved last year signing the DICON bill. Now what we're doing with DICON is we're inviting original equipment manufacturers to come to Nigeria and let us produce. Now, if we produce in Nigeria, we'll have the weapons we require, we will save our foreign exchange, we'll be able to employ our own youths, and besides that, we will be able to sell to our countries, our neighboring countries, some of these things. Because even if they have diplomatic issues, militarily, we're all working with all our neighbors, because we know the danger. The enemy you are fighting does not respect human, does not respect border. He attacks anybody. So if we don't come together to fight, to prevent it, they can attack Nigeria or attack Niger or Chad. So we're still working together. That I can assure you, we're doing that. On the issue of Alero, Alero, the beer Alero is just like a pseudonym they use for themselves, like a commander or something. So the one they kill is not the same one you saw in Katsina. And like you mentioned, yes, sometimes it's when you see you are doing one thing and then somebody else is doing something else. We continue because it's democracy. So we need to continue to dialogue, to make the states to also understand that we need to work together. Some of these states have gone to establish vigilante groups and all this thing without adequate training. The model we did in Maiduguri, where the communities were the ones who actually selected the youths. We gave the police and the civil and the DSS, they profiled them to ensure that they are not having any criminal record, they are not criminals. The military trained them, and we attached them to the military. So they were the ones giving information, be able to protect, give us early warning before the enemy comes. So that has saved the situation. But because they are under the control of the military, we have controlled their excesses. Now when you leave them alone, a lot of them have issues in the past. They want to use this opportunity now to settle those scores. So it creates another problem. And the worst one you can do is when you make it one ethnic group. Now you are creating a problem, because now he wants to defend his own ethnic group against others. And then it becomes tit for tat. And then you can't stop that. Before you know it again, unintended consequences, you bring another aspect of it. So it is important. But what I can tell you is what challenges we are facing now, most of them did not start now. They have been there since independence. And because concrete steps have not been taken to address them, we're losing to this war we're fighting. I think sometimes people don't really, maybe people think we're still doing Nollywood or Kannywood. No, this is real life situation. People are being killed. We're fighting enemies that don't mean this country well. And the most unfortunate thing on their own part is that they have nothing to lose. They are working on drugs. They are all drugged up most times. So even when you are shooting them and killing, they are coming. And so people feel that they are not scared. No, a lot of them are on drugs. When we arrest them, keep them 3 days. When the drug wears out, the man will be telling you, what is he doing here? Most of them. And then some of them have been brainwashed. So it is by this disarmament program that some of them came to realize that they were being lied to. Their commanders are busy living larger than life, and yet they are the ones suffering. And so those are the issues, and that's why it's unfortunate. Like I've always advised, no country should allow asymmetric warfare or terrorism to start. It is a very, very difficult operation. Americans did 20 years in Afghanistan. How did they end up? With all the technology, with everything they had. So when you are dealing with somebody who believes in what he's doing, it's a very dangerous situation to do. And then so the society must come together with members of the armed forces to defeat that. Otherwise, it will continue to be a problem. So the dying is, and you mentioned that yes, we don't show pictures. I don't know how many of you know how many people died in Afghanistan. They don't tell you. They don't mention it. Because again, it has effect on morale. The idea of running to go and report, also you are affecting the morale of your troops. And once your men are demoralized, how do you want them to work? So we must always understand these concepts. that it's important that we think of the men that are doing the fights. And that's why we took it upon ourselves that those who are injured, we should not just leave them go like that. Because the people fighting will say, oh, if it happens to me, this is what will happen to me. And